PM lashes out. Sets record straight on discrimination discourse.
जिस कांग्रेस ने
nothing only the address will go on record
और भाषा के नाम पर देश को बांटने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। वो आज हमें राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा और आंतरिक सुरक्षा के लिए भाषण दे रहे हैं।
As Congress hits the streets,
I do not want to interfere with the report of the Finance Commission since it is an autonomous body. Why? क्यों झूठ बोलता है, मैडम?
Prime Minister accuses Congress of North-South divide.
जो कांग्रेस देश को तोड़ने के नैरेटिव घटना का नया शौक उनको पैदा हुआ, इतना तोड़ा कम नहीं है, अब उत्तर दक्षिण को तोड़ने के लिए बयान दिए जा रहे हैं।
Discrimination or divide politics at play. Top focus on 6 PM Prime.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us live here on 6 PM Prime. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening, yet again, we're putting the focus on the big fight by 3 South states, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, saying that they're being discriminated against by the central government on distribution of funds. Today, you had the Prime Minister speaking in Rajya Sabha in great detail about this, dedicating about 10 minutes of his speech only on this particular issue, saying this is nothing but divisive politics at play. But over the next 1 hour, as we get you all those political updates, we're also going to be getting you an expert's view on whether there's actually discrimination. There are several hashtags like Justice for Karnataka, like the South Tax movement that's currently trending. We're going to ensure that we put it out there with experts' comments on whether there's actually discrimination, how the distribution of tax is actually decided between states. Look forward to that conversation. Here's a look at the headlines first. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister, hits out at the Congress, accuses Congress of being anti-development and anti-reservation, calls Rahul Gandhi a non-starter.
युवराज को एक स्टार्टअप बना करके दिया है, अभी वो नॉन स्टार्टर है। न तो लिफ्ट हो रहा है, न वो लॉन्च हो रहा है।
BJP-led NDA alliance grows ahead of elections. RLD, the TDP, Telugu Desam Party and Raj Thakkre's Maharashtra Navnirman Sena poised to join the NDA fold. 16 former MLAs from AIADMK joined BJP. Setback for Arvind Kejriwal. Delhi court summons Kejriwal to appear on February 17th. The ED, remember, complaint against Kejriwal claiming non-compliance. After Ayodhya, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath sets eyes on Kashi and Mathura, says asking only for 3 places of worship, slams vote bank politics over temple.
सैकड़ों वर्षों से यहाँ की आस्था केवल 3 के लिए बात कर रही है। एक जिद है, और उस जिद में जब और वोट बैंक बनाने की राजनीति होने लगती है, तो वहीं से फिर विवाद की स्थिति खड़ी होने लगती है।
NCP versus NCP escalates. Ajit Pawar faction files caveat in the Supreme Court. Sources say Sharad Pawar has proposed 3 symbols and party names to the poll board. And UCC debate rages on after Uttarakhand. One nation, one law in Rajasthan. Next, State Minister says UCC bill in the next assembly session. TMC objects, reiterates there will be no UCC in Bengal. Non-stop protests and politics that's playing out as opposition-ruled South states have alleged that there's discrimination in funds distribution. Today, you had Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his entire cabinet touching down in the national capital, touching down in Delhi and staging a symbolic protest at Jantar Mantar against reducing tax revenue returns. And amid all of this, because remember, tomorrow you're going to have representatives of the Kerala government and the Tamil Nadu government also protesting in Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken out. He's accused the Congress of creating this North-South divide and has also explained how exactly this tax revenue return distribution takes place.
Protests rocking Delhi and Karnataka as the South Fund fight peaks. As 3 South states up the ante against the centre, claiming discrimination in distribution of funds, Prime Minister Modi lashed out at the Congress, blaming them for creating a North-South divide.
जिस कांग्रेस ने अखबारों पर ताले लगाने तक की कोशिश की, आवाज जो कांग्रेस देश को तोड़ने के नैरेटिव घड़ना का नया शौक उनको पैदा हुआ, इतना तोड़ा कम नहीं है, अब उत्तर दक्षिण को तोड़ने के लिए बयान दिए जा रहे हैं.
The Prime Minister also explained in detail why some states get more in the country and warned against dividing India on state lines.
हिंदुस्तान के किसी भी कोने में दर्द हो तो पीड़ा सबको होनी चाहिए. अगर देश का एक कोना, अगर शरीर का एक अंग अगर काम नहीं करता है तो पूरा शरीर अपंग माना जाता है. शरीर जिस प्रकार से अगर देश का भी कोई कोना, देश का कोई क्षेत्र विकास से वंचित रह जाएगा तो देश विकसित नहीं हो सकता है. और इसलिए हमें भारत को एक अंगांगी भाव से देखना होना चाहिए, उसको टुकड़ों में नहीं देखना चाहिए. देश के अंदर ये भाव तोड़ने का क्या प्रयास हो रहा है? क्या इस प्रकार से देश को हमारा टैक्स, हमारे मनी किस भाषा में बोला जा रहा है? ये देश के भविष्य के लिए नया खतरा पैदा करने वाली बात है.
Prime Minister Modi's attack at the Congress was timed to Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaia's symbolic protest in Delhi. Hitting the streets of the capital, the Siddaramaiah cabinet came together in full strength to protest against what they called stepmotherly treatment by the central government. Speaking to India Today, the Karnataka Chief Minister demanded that Kannadigas get their fair share from the centre.
See, in 14th Finance Commission, whatever the yardsticks are applied, the same yardsticks should have been applied in the 15th Finance Commission also. Why they have changed this? Because earlier, so far as the population is concerned, they have to consider the 1971 census. In this 15th Finance Commission, 2011 census is considered.
So you're being penalized for having controlled population better than the northern states. That's the concern that southern states have.
That is what I meant.
At the protest too, Siddaramaiah taunted the government, accusing Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman of lying to the people about fund release.
क्यों झूठ बोलता है मैडम?
The BJP, however, has repeatedly dismissed the discrimination narrative. Karnataka BJP MPs held a protest in Parliament and a dramatic one in Bengaluru too. Karnataka BJP leaders were seen attempting to enter the Chief Minister's chamber in Vidhan Sabha.
We are asking for our rights. It is purely our right. Whatever the percentage we are supposed to get, we are getting only 13%. We don't let some other states also be benefited. I don't mind. Let them give an opportunity to Hyderabad, Telangana. Let them give opportunity to Maharashtra. Let them also the same whatever the policies they have given, city policies. Let them give to Karnataka also. We'll also. India is a united country. It is not only one state. We don't tell you don't give to Gujarat. You give to Karnataka also.
मैं डंके की चोट पे कहना चाहता हूं, यूपीए गवर्नमेंट ने 10 साल में केवल 24,000 करोड़ 24,500 करोड़ दिया. मैं 72,000 करोड़ कर्नाटक सरकार को दी है. उसके बाद भी निर्लज्जता के साथ, देश को तोड़ने की साजिश के साथ कर्नाटक ने ये विज्ञापन दिया है। मैं इसका प्रोटेस्ट करता हूं और कहता हूं कि ये झूठी सरकार साबित करे।
Meanwhile, the state is set for this showdown to escalate as Kerala and Tamil Nadu will join the fight on Thursday in Delhi. The left in DMK leadership will stage a protest tomorrow demanding adequate release of funds.
നാളെ ഇവിടെ ഡൽഹിയിൽ കേരളം ഒരു സവിശേഷമായ സമരമാണ് നടത്തുന്നത്. കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ അതിജീവനത്തിനും മുന്നോട്ടു പോക്കിനും അനിവാര്യമായ മാർഗമെന്ന നിലയിലാണ് ചരിത്രത്തിൽ അധികം കീഴ്വഴക്കങ്ങളില്ലാത്ത ഈ പ്രക്ഷോഭത്തിന്റെ മാർഗം തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കേണ്ടി വന്നത്.
Now 2024 they want to play north-south. This is the last game left in their hand. This is the game they played previously, misusing Article 356, dismissing governments at will. Now the last armory that is left in the Congress party's hand is saying that north is different, south is different, and south is not getting funds and all those things.
As politics speaks over funds distribution, Prime Minister Modi has claimed it's an attempt to create a divide ahead of the elections. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you the first reaction coming in from Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman amid this big South Fund fight. Nirmala Sitharaman has dismissed all of these claims, lashing out at the Karnataka government, at the Siddaramaiah government. She's claimed that the reason you're seeing this mega protest in Delhi's Jantar Mandir is because Karnataka cannot fulfill its guarantees. And so Nirmala Sitharaman is claiming that the Karnataka government is shifting the blame to the centre and thereby adding a poisonous narrative along the lines of what Prime Minister Modi said when he blamed the Congress for creating this north-south divide. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman saying the Congress is speaking the language of separatism. Let's play out for you exactly what the Finance Minister has said.
ये सब बातें सिर्फ एक मानसिकता से निकलता है, वो अलगाववाद मानसिकता है, जो डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर के भाई ने, सगा भाई ने बता दिया और उसको रिपीट भी किए बहुत सारे लोग। कांग्रेस पार्टी आज अलगाववादी लोग के साथ है, देश को टुकड़े टुकड़े करने वाले लोगों के साथ है। 2-3 साल पहले आपने तब की नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट श्री राहुल गांधी जी को जेएनयू में देखे, उसके बाद में टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग के साथ खड़े होते हुए देखे। आज पार्टी तमिलनाडु में भी ऐसे बयानबाजी अलगाववादी बात करने वाले के साथ रहता है, उनको कंडेम नहीं करता है। इधर भी इस एडवर्टाइजमेंट के द्वारा उसी भाषा को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं कांग्रेस। देश को टुकड़े टुकड़े करने वाले का एक अस्त्र फिनांस के ऊपर फॉल्स आरोप लगाना। आज उसका मैं सही सटीक जवाब दे चुकी हूं। मैं विनम्रता से मीडिया से हाथ जोड़ करके रिक्वेस्ट करती हूं, इसको आप प्रचलित करना चाहिए, हर राज्य में बोलना चाहिए। कांग्रेस के एक ही मकसद इस देश को तोड़ने का।
So we've put out both versions for you, what the central government has to say and of course what states also have to say. What is the cause for this clear difference in how much each state gets is still a question mark. But I want to put out the data for you of how much returns each state gets. And we're breaking it down simply for our viewers. For every 100 rupees given to the centre as tax, what are the returns being received by states? For Karnataka, it's at about 13.9 rupees. Remember that this is versus every 100 rupees that's given as tax. For Tamil Nadu, it's at 29.7 rupees. Kerala, 63.4 rupees. Now, these are the southern states. What does it look like compared to other states? This is why South states are claiming that there's discrimination because their numbers are in double digits versus 100 rupees given as tax. For Bihar, it's at 922.5 rupees, the returns that they get. Uttar Pradesh, 333.2. Madhya Pradesh, 279. This is the data for the year of 2023-24. So this data is what's also led to a lot of the fuel to this raging fire right now. But amid all of the politics, let's keep that aside for a moment and really talk about the facts of how this distribution happens and break it down in layman terms. You've seen these numbers, and I want to bring in on this broadcast now Mr. Santosh Mehrotra, who is an economist who's going to explain this further for us. Mr. Mehrotra, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. First of all, sir, can you explain to us how really is it decided right now how much each state gets?
How much each state gets is based on a very well-known formula, and that formula is partly based on population size and on level of income. And this is an established principle that is agreed upon in the Finance Commission reports. Now, the reason why we are beginning to see this kind of tension in center-state relations is because it's now become public knowledge that when the government came to power, the 14th Finance Commission had just put out its report.
Okay.
And at that juncture, apparently the newly formed government at the center had asked for the following. The Finance Commission had recommended an increase of state share to 42% from the total collections, raising it from the 32% during the period of the 13th Finance Commission, which was going to end in 15. The new 14th Finance Commission terms were to begin.
Okay.
But in other words, normally, no government rejects a Finance Commission recommendation. In this case, a new incoming government attempted to bring down from the increase that was proposed by the 14th Finance Commission from 32 to 42 back to 32. This is problem number one. This has become public knowledge most recently.
Okay.
Secondly, in the 15th Finance Commission, which is the ongoing period currently,
correct,
a 42% was meant to be allocated to the states. However, the southern states are saying that the actual that is being allocated is not 42, it is 32. Now, try and understand that what has been happening. The center's expenditures have risen very dramatically and its borrowings have risen very dramatically. And as its borrowings have risen, what we've also seen simultaneously, and one of the important reasons why its borrowings have risen, is because the government, since 2019, in the last 5 years, has been systematically losing corporate income tax, having brought down the CIT from 30% to 25% in the middle of 2019. Now, having done that, the central government started losing 1.45 lakh crores or 1.45 trillion rupees every year. This is one of the reasons why you have diesel taxes and petrol taxes as high as they are. This is also a reason why in recent years the central government has been imposing cesses, and cesses are a way for the central government to mobilize revenue for itself, and those don't have to be shared. So under these circumstances, it is not surprising that this is happening. On the other hand, when I heard in your show suddenly Mr. Giriraj Singh, who's a Bihar minister and who obviously doesn't understand too much economics, he sort of compared the 24,000 crores that was given under the UPA government to the 72,000 crores given to Karnataka under the current government. This is besides the point. The GDP is growing, tax revenues of the government grow, and therefore the absolute amount will always be higher as time goes on.
Can I ask
the bottom
you also,
line is,
as a follow-up, Mr. Mehrotra, can I just ask you here, does it matter how much each state gives?
No. Look, that's a way chief ministers from the south are going to make that argument.
Yeah,
it's understandable that they will make that argument. The point is that the devolution of funds is made on the basis of certain principles that are agreed upon between the center and the finance commission. So the bottom line is the following: that that the expenditures of the state governments grew very significantly during COVID because they had to bear the burden,
of course,
of looking after their citizens. So their expenditures grew. But at the same time, the introduction since 2017 of GST has reduced the freedom for them to mobilize revenues within the state, because 17 taxes were brought under GST. Please try and understand.
And Mr. Mehrotra, my apologies for interrupting, sir. We're going to continue this conversation, but I'm having to cut across to big breaking news that's coming in right now. The Uttarakhand Assembly, after detailed discussions, has now officially passed the Uniform Civil Code. It's now a reality in the state of Uttarakhand, the first state to go ahead and implement UCC. So now history being made in the state of Uttarakhand after a discussion. Remember that the bill was tabled yesterday by Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, and now after detailed discussions, it's been passed by the State Assembly. So UCC becoming a reality for the first time, and the first state to do it is in the state of Uttarakhand. We've been getting you details also of what kind of provisions come into effect here, but the Chief Minister has repeatedly been saying that this is history that's been created on UCC in Uttarakhand. Let's cut across to the Chief Minister's reaction.
ये देवभूमि उत्तराखंड को इसका सौभाग्य मिला, और जिस प्रकार से भारत एक हमारा बहुत बड़ा देश है, अन्य बहुत बड़े प्रदेश हैं, लेकिन ये अवसर हमारे राज्य को मिला और हम सब गौरवान्वित हैं कि ये मौका हम सबको एक इतिहास लिखने का और देवभूमि से देश को दिशा देने का अवसर इस सदन के प्रत्येक सदस्य को आज उत्तराखंड की देवतुल्य जनता का प्रतिनिधि होने के कारण मिला। और मैंने पहले ही कहा कि ये सामान्य विधेयक नहीं है, बल्कि एक भारत की एकात्मकता का सूत्र है। हमारे संविधान शिल्पियों ने जिस अवधारणा के साथ हमारा संविधान बनाया था, देवभूमि उत्तराखंड से आज वही अवधारणा साकार रूप लेने जा रही है, धरातल पर उतरने जा रही है, और समूचे देश को एक अपेक्षा के साथ कि हम इस दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, देश के अन्य राज्य भी इस दिशा में आगे बढ़ें।
Okay, I'm going to cut across to my colleague Ashutosh Mishra, who's reporting right now from Dehradun, where celebrations have broken out.
ढोल नगाड़ों की ओर लिए चलते हैं, जहां पर जश्न चल रहा है, नाच गाना, महिलाएं पुरुष बड़ी संख्या में, और वो सब यहाँ इकट्ठा हुए थे कि जैसे कानून पास होगा उसके तुरंत बाद मिठाइयाँ बांटी जाएंगी। और इसीलिए आप देख रहे हैं कि जो है मुकुट से लेकर के पगड़ी, माला, गमछा सब कुछ लेकर के यहाँ पर आया गया। और सड़कों पर आप समझिए पहले लोग कम थे, लेकिन जैसे जैसे शाम मुझे लगा कि आज वोटिंग होगी, उसके बाद यहाँ संख्या बढ़ने लगी, और उसमें भी ज्यादातर संख्या जो है वो महिलाओं की। ठीक इस तरफ विधानसभा, जहां पर आज उत्तराखंड ने इतिहास रचा है। मैं देहरादून में हूँ, ठीक विधानसभा के बाहर, ये विधानसभा है, और उसी जगह पर हूँ विधानसभा में जहां अंदर कानून पास हो रहा था। और जैसे ही वो नारेबाजी के साथ जय श्री राम का उद्घोष हुआ और ये प्रस्ताव उसके बाद पारित हुआ, तुरंत मैं बाहर आया ये दिखाने के लिए कि कैसे यहाँ पर आज कम से कम किसी सेलिब्रेशन से कम मौका नहीं है। अंजना।
Okay, so that's Ashutosh reporting for us from Dehradun, where he's showing us a sense of the celebrations. BJP leaders celebrating the fact that a common law now on marriage or on divorce, on property, on inheritance has now passed the assembly test in Uttarakhand. It was expected that it would sail through easily, and that's exactly what's happened. And that makes Uttarakhand the very first state to go ahead and implement UCC. It's led to a lot of speculation that perhaps many other states will now follow suit, that many other BJP-ruled states in particular will now start their conversation, start pushing forward, steamrolling ahead with their plans to introduce UCC. And considering that it's something that's also mentioned in the BJP manifesto, is this now going to set the ball rolling for a nationwide UCC as well? Something for which there have been multiple indications. A committee has also been set up. Of course, if you talk about the Uniform Civil Code as well, that has been passed in the Assembly, and you see those images also on your screens of the moment that it was passed in the Assembly. Let's cut across once again to Ashutosh Mishra for live inputs. Ashutosh, in just a bit to get you those updates of what's really playing out there, but you can hear the celebrations around Ashutosh as well. So the nod has been given now to the UCC, a uniform civil law being put in place for all communities within the state. And live images on your screens right now of the celebrations that have broken out outside the Uttarakhand Assembly. These are BJP MLAs who you can hear chanting, raising slogans. Even yesterday when the bill was tabled, there were slogans of Jai Shri Ram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai that were raised by BJP MLAs. All of them now congratulating Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, who's been working on this for the last many months, been actively a part of drafting the UCC as well. The Uniform Civil Code suggestions, and with regards to the directives that are put in place, there's been a lot of talk particularly on live-in relationships and the registration of live-ins. But we'll get to that in just a bit. I want to bring in Ashutosh Mishra now on this broadcast. Ashutosh, celebrations breaking out. The BJP fulfilling that big promise in Uttarakhand.
Well, the Uttarakhand has created history, and while I'll cut you to these live shots of this celebration right outside the Assembly, Arvind Pandey, one of the BJP MLA from Uttarakhand, is joining me here in the broadcast. कितना बड़ा दिन उत्तराखंड के लिए, और क्या ये माने कि जैसे आप हमेशा कहते हैं कि यहाँ से नदी पूरे देश को पानी देता है, तो यहाँ का कानून भी पूरे देश के लिए एक मिसाल बनेगा। आपको लग रहा है वो दिन आज है?
हो चुकी थी पीर, अब सुरह निकलनी चाहिए। इसे हिमालय से नई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए। हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, मेरी कोशिश है हालात बदलने चाहिए। इसी कड़ी में बाबा भीमराव अम्बेडकर जी ने जो सपना देखा था और जो संविधान बनाया था, उसको आज तक की सरकारों ने नहीं किया। आज मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में, उनके आशीर्वाद से उत्तराखंड की सरकार, पुष्कर सिंह धामी की नेतृत्व वाली सरकार ने यूसीसी को लागू किया है और ये देश के लिए पूरे मॉडल बनेगा। बहुत खुशी की बात है। मैं पूरे
पांडे जी, लेकिन ये देखिए विरोध था कंटेंशंस को लेकर के कि भाई इसमें आप जो है पुलिस भेज रहे हैं, आप जो है बेडरूम में पुलिस पहुंचाना चाहते हैं, जनजातियों को एग्जम्पशन दे रहे हैं, एक समान कानून नहीं है। लेकिन सीएम ये कह रहे थे कि देखिए हम बाद में उनको शामिल करेंगे। क्या इंतजार किया जा सकता था कि एक बार सबके लिए नियमावली तय हो जाए, सबसे चर्चा हो जाए? लेकिन साथ साथ विल ऑल्सो शो you the live images of the celebration right outside here, or outside the Vidhan Sabha. All the BJP workers, supporters have come out in a huge number with Dhol Nagada. जी अरविंद पांडे जी बोलिए।
व्यक्ति गलत हो सकता है, लेकिन लिव इन रिलेशनशिप के माध्यम से जो नवजात बच्चे पैदा होते हैं, उनका दोष क्या है? उनको सही में कानून में उनको सम्मान देना क्या गलत है? इसको भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने किया है, जो अपने आप में ऐतिहासिक कदम।
एक रिफॉर्म के तौर पर देखा जाएगा और पूरे देश के लिए ब्लूप्रिंट बनेगा।
बिल्कुल, पूरे देश के लिए एक मॉडल है। और मैं तो चाहता हूँ, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी आदेश है कि यूसीसी पूरे स्टेट, कोई सा भी स्टेट है, लागू कर सकती है। उसी कड़ी में उत्तराखंड ने काम किया है, बधाई की पात्र है।
Arvind Pandey, and meanwhile all these MLAs have, of course, since the session is now signed, they all have started walking out. But he also said the number of the supporters, the BJP workers, are increasing with Dhol Nagada. In fact, there is also celebration planned at the BJP headquarters where the Chief Minister himself will join. And it has been really a 2 days long session. Everyone deliberated, from the opposition, from the ruling party, from the independent MLA. Several issues where they had their own apprehensions. All issues were raised, everything was discussed, deliberated, but at large, with a thumping majority, with the slogan of Jai Shri Ram, the bill has been passed by Uttarakhand Assembly. And remember, several BJP ruled states have been saying that we are keeping a very close eye on this bill and how it is going to be implemented. And since Uttarakhand has already made an example, the history has created, it will also give a blueprint to the other states, especially the BJP ruled states, where they are also planning to bring uniform civil code. And remember, this is just on the edge of the Lok Sabha election. Of course, the opposition, the OSC and several other Muslim organizations have also been raising issue that how on the edge of the elections this such kind of bill is being passed. But clearly, of course, this is going to give edge to the BJP when they'll go to people. Remember, from Jan Sangh, the agenda that they have been saying that Article 370 needs to go and uniform civil code needs to come. So this was two such examples that they were going to go with the people and they'll set an example.
Can you give us a sense, Ashutosh, of what really the voting was like in the assembly? Were all the opposition parties also on board on UCC?
Well, it was a thumping majority because it was a voice vote when the speaker asked those who are in support, mostly people, of course, from the treasury benches, everyone came in support. We hardly been able to see a no from that because remember the opposition, they did not boycott. They had apprehension. They said send it to select committee. There was voting on the select committee agenda which was proposed by the opposition that they wanted to send it to the select committee and have a deliberation at least for a month and then bring it to. There was no opposition to the Uniform Civil Code bill. Rather, there was demand from the opposition to send it to select committee and let there be more and more deliberation. There could be some contention, apprehension, and that need to be addressed, especially on the issue of why the scheduled tribes have been exempted. Responding to that, the Chief Minister said because they have their own tradition, their customs, and that is preserved under the constitutional immunity. And of course, even we have spoken to them, they are on board and there will be more and more reforms in coming days and happening. But meanwhile, you see Dhol, Nagara, everything here, BJP workers, supporters, right at the main gate of Uttarakhand Assembly, Vidhan Sabha, which has created history today, passing uniform civil code. So there was no resistance, there was no opposition to the bill at large. But in fact, on the first day, in fact, yesterday, when the session started, the opposition MLAs, including the independent, they did protest and wanted time to speak on the other critical issues of the state. But at large, with the thumping majority, the bill has been passed from Uttarakhand Assembly. Akshita.
Okay, so this was in fact a promise that was made in the BJP manifesto in the 2022 Assembly elections in Uttarakhand, which is why you're seeing the kind of celebrations there with the BJP saying we've fulfilled that big promise. And the BJP, of course, is maintaining that this is history that's been scripted essentially in Uttarakhand. And there's already a lot of buzz, Ashutosh, about other BJP-ruled states also following in a similar narrative, following the footsteps of Uttarakhand.
And especially Gujarat and Assam, these two chief ministers have already said that we are keeping very close eye on these the bill, especially, and also how it is going to be implemented. And clearly, the BJP-ruled state will take a cue from Uttarakhand, and the bill those have been proposed. Remember, this 182-page draft with several volumes that consist nearly more than 700 pages. So everything will be studied by. In fact, I was speaking to Kishore Upadhyay, the Tehri MLA, said several states have already approached us, and we are providing them all the volumes, details, 182 pages of the total draft. They'll study it, and accordingly, looking at their demographic structure and the...
Okay, Ashutosh, we're going to come back to you. We're cutting across live to the Uttarakhand Chief Minister.
होगा और कोई
Right now, off Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami is expected to start speaking any moment now. A big moment for the Chief Minister. He's been talking about this being a historic moment for the people of Uttarakhand and that they've fulfilled a promise made to the people of the state. All right, let's come across.
कृपया एक बार शांत हो जाए तो बातचीत शुरू करें प्लीज इधर से थोड़ा शांत हो जाए थोड़ा प्लीज सबसे पहले तो मैं अपने मीडिया के सभी मित्रों का सबका दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आप सब लोगों ने लगातार जिस दिन से हम समान नागरिक संहिता कानून को बनाने के लिए जिस दिन हमने संकल्प लिया था, वो संकल्प था, वो दिन संकल्प लेने का दिन था 12 फरवरी 2022 और तब से लेकर आज जब ये विधेयक के रूप में पारित हो गया है, विधेयक बन गया है, आप सब लोगों का, आप सबका बहुत प्रेम, बहुत सहयोग और इसको जन जन तक पहुंचाने का काम उत्तराखंड के अंदर आप सब लोगों के माध्यम से हुआ है। आज का ये दिन उत्तराखंड के लिए बहुत विशेष दिन है। आज देवभूमि के अंदर, देवभूमि की इस विधानसभा ने आज ये विशेष विधेयक, जिसकी लंबे समय से देश के अंदर लगातार लोगों को प्रतीक्षा थी, लगातार जिसकी मांग उठती रही थी, जो बरसों बरसों का इंतजार था, वो देवभूमि उत्तराखंड के अंदर इसकी शुरुआत हुई है और विधानसभा के अंदर आज इसको पारित किया गया है। इसके लिए मैं उत्तराखंड विधानसभा के सभी सदस्यों का, सभी अपने सहयोगियों का धन्यवाद करता हूं और विशेष रूप से उत्तराखंड की देवतुल्य जनता का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं कि उनके कारण से ही, उनके आशीर्वाद से ही, उनके समर्थन से ही और उन्होंने जो हमको सरकार में आने का मौका दिया, उसके कारण से ही आज हम ये कानून बना पाए। समान नागरिक संहिता का जो एक्ट है, जो विधेयक है, उसको हम पारित कर पाए। इसके साथ साथ मैं हमारे देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं कि उनकी प्रेरणा से, उनके मार्गदर्शन में हमको आज ये विधेयक राज्य की विधानसभा में पारित करने का अवसर मिला और उनके मार्गदर्शन में हमने काम किया। हमको उन्हीं से प्रेरणा मिली। एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत का जो उनका संकल्प है, उसी संकल्प को अपनी प्रेरणा मानते हुए हम आगे बढ़े और आज इसको विधेयक के रूप में हम प्रेरित कर पाए। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में उत्तराखंड में समान नागरिक संहिता का जो अवसर है, क्योंकि चुनाव के वक्त आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी भी यहाँ आए थे, उन्होंने भी हमारे, जब हमने इस बात को रखा था, हमारी पार्टी ने रखा था, उन्हीं के मार्गदर्शन में रखा था। यह कानून सबको एक तरह से समानता का कानून है, सबको एक रूपता का कानून है, सबकी एकता का कानून है, सबका समान अधिकार का कानून है। यह, इसके बारे में अलग अलग लोग अलग अलग बातें कर रहे थे, लेकिन सारी बातें आज और कल जो 2 दिन विधानसभा के अंदर चर्चा हुई है, उस चर्चा में बहुत चीजें स्पष्ट हो गई हैं कि ये कानून हम किसी के खिलाफ नहीं लाए हैं, ये कानून किसी के विरुद्ध नहीं है, बल्कि ये उन माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों के लिए जिनके जीवन में कई बार कुरीतियों के कारण से, कई बार असमानताओं के कारण से उनको अनेक कष्टों का सामना करना पड़ता था, अनेक बार उनको यातनाओं का सामना करना पड़ता था। उन कुरीतियों के कारण से उनका आत्मबल कमजोर होता था। उनके आत्मबल को मजबूत करने का काम, उनको उत्थान की ओर ले जाने का काम, उनकी सर्वांगीण उन्नति के लिए ये कानून हमने बनाया है। ये सब बच्चों के भी हित में है, मातृशक्ति के भी हित में। इस कानून में जहां विवाह, तलाक, गुजारा भत्ता, उत्तराधिकार, लिव इन रिलेशनशिप जैसे जो अनेक महत्वपूर्ण विषय हैं, उन सभी विषयों को इस कानून में शामिल किया गया है और लगभग 2 वर्षों के इस कालखंड में, लगभग 12 फरवरी 2022 से हमने जब इसका संकल्प लिया था, उत्तराखंड की देवतुल्य जनता के सामने रखा था, उसके बाद हमने कमेटी का गठन किया था, ड्राफ्ट बनाने वाली कमेटी। उन कमेटी के सदस्यों का भी, मैं उनका भी दिल से उनका धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। उन्होंने विभिन्न वर्गों के बीच में जाकर उस कमेटी ने काम किया, विभिन्न धार्मिक संगठनों के लोगों से भी बात की, उन्होंने जनजातियों के बीच में जाकर भी बात की, अनेक अनेक संगठनों से बात की और लगभग 10,000 लोगों से कमेटी ने प्रत्यक्ष रूप से संवाद किया और 2,33,000 के लगभग लोगों के विचार इसमें लिए, सुझाव लेकर, और 43 बड़े जनसंवाद के कार्यक्रम किए, दिल्ली में भी कार्यक्रम किया और जो ड्राफ्ट बनाया, उस ड्राफ्ट का हमने आकलन किया, हमारी मंत्रिपरिषद ने उसका आकलन किया, परीक्षण किया और उसके बाद उसको विधानसभा में विधेयक के रूप में प्रस्तुत किया। आज ये विधेयक पारित हो गया है और मैं देवभूमि उत्तराखंड की देवतुल्य जनता का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं, विधानसभा के सभी सदस्यों का जिन्होंने इसमें सहभागी होने का, जिनको ये अवसर मिला है, जिनके हाथों ये शुभ काम हुआ है, उन सब का धन्यवाद करता हूं और आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का विशेष रूप से धन्यवाद करते हुए कि उत्तराखंड की देवतुल्य जनता की तरफ से कि देश बनाने की तरफ उत्तराखंड आगे बढ़ा है, उत्तराखंड ने शुरुआत की है और भारतवर्ष के अन्य राज्यों से भी हमारी अपेक्षा रहेगी कि हमने इसको यहाँ पारित कर दिया है, यहाँ एक्ट बना दिया है, महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी के यहाँ इसको भेजेंगे और जल्दी महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी के यहाँ से जैसे ही हमको स्वीकृति प्राप्त हो जाएगी तो हम इसको कानून के रूप में राज्य के अंदर लागू करेंगे और राज्य में लागू करने के लिए जो जरूरी व्यवस्थाएं हैं इतने दिनों में हम उन व्यवस्थाओं को भी सुनिश्चित करने का काम करेंगे। अंत में मैं आप सबका भी धन्यवाद करता हूं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
मुख्यमंत्री जी, कुछ लोगों का ये कहना है कि इस बिल को जानबूझकर लाया गया है जिससे इसका
So the Uttarakhand Chief Minister there, Pushkar Singh Dhami, thanking Prime Minister Modi and saying that it is because of the central BJP support that they've actually been able to pull off the UCC being implemented in the state of Uttarakhand. Passing the assembly test, very crucial moment there for the state of Uttarakhand. And there's endless speculation of whether this is the beginning of the UCC, of one nation, one law being brought in to several other states and thereby nationwide as well. I want to bring in now our legal editor, Nalini Sharma, also to kind of explain to you what the Uttarakhand Civil Code actually does to the current laws in place. Nalini, there's of course a lot of talk about what this does to marriage, to property and of course equal laws, same laws for all communities in the state. Let's focus of course on the one issue that everyone's been talking about live-in relationships and what UCC states about that in Uttarakhand now.
Well, Akshita, first just touching quickly upon why this entire move is so historic, because for a very long time, for several years, it's been debated as to whether or not India should have UCC. In fact, it wasn't very long back when we ourselves in Democratic Newsroom were debating as to whether or not India is ready for UCC. But what was repeated time and again was that UCC, there's no draft also available. So what is the question being asked? Now, not only is there a draft in place, but Uttarakhand has officially enacted it as a law. As soon as it gets the assent, it will be enacted as a law. So it's a big breakthrough in the promise that has been given by the BJP time and again that they are going to bring in a uniform civil code for the entire country. Not for the entire country yet, but yes, for Uttarakhand it has been brought in. But now talking about live-in relationships, it's one of the four main aspects that the Uttarakhand UCC deals with. Along with live-in relationships, there are also aspects of marriage, divorce, as well as succession that are mentioned in the bill. There are some very stringent measures that have been put in place regarding live-in relationships, where any couple who is entering into a live-in relationship in Uttarakhand will have to get it registered with the local authorities. In fact, the records are also going to happen with, be with the police, and not just when they are entering into a live-in relationship. Even if a couple is planning to break up or move out of a living arrangement like that, they still have to inform the authorities and get all the paperwork in order before those steps. And that's what there's been a lot of discussion about whether that's a good thing or whether it's too much invasion into one's privacy, one's personal life. Thanks very much, Nalini, for joining us with all of those details. UCC now officially a reality in the state of Uttarakhand. Celebrations by BJP workers, as I said, that they fulfilled their promise of ensuring a civil code, one common law for the people of Uttarakhand. I'm slipping into a very short break. We'll continue getting you more on that news break and much more.
Seats will the BJP get if general elections are held today?
Who would you rate as India's best chief minister?
Do you support the idea of one nation, one poll?
Will the consecration of the Ram Temple help the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections?
After Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who do you think is best suited to be India's Prime Minister?
All this and more in the next edition of the India Today Mood of the Nation opinion poll, exclusively on India Today TV.
आज उत्तर प्रदेश ने 22 जनवरी 2024 की घटना को भी देखा है। पूरा देश अभिभूत था। पूरी दुनिया के अंदर हर वह व्यक्ति जो सत्य का पक्षधर है, न्याय का पक्षधर है, वह अभिभूत था, गौरवान्वित था। हर सनातन धर्मावलंबी की आंखों में आंसू थे, हर्ष के, गौरव के, और अपनी कई पीढ़ियों को वह इस आयोजन में प्रत्यक्ष या अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से उसके साथ सहभागी बनकर के अपनी पीढ़ियों के प्रति कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित भी कर रहा था और तर्पण भी अर्पित कर रहा था। यह मेरा सौभाग्य है कि उस आयोजन में मैं प्रत्यक्ष रूप से था, वहां के वातावरण को मैं समझ सकता था। 25 करोड़ की उत्तर प्रदेश की आबादी और 140 करोड़ का हमारा देश, कमोवेश हर प्रदेश का प्रतिनिधित्व था, नेतृत्व वर्ग था। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की उपस्थिति थी, पूज्य संतों की, आचार्यों की और समाज के हर तबके की उपस्थिति वहां पर मौजूद थी। अद्भुत वातावरण था, ऊर्जा से भरपूर था। और यही उत्तर प्रदेश, जिस उत्तर प्रदेश के नौजवानों को देख करके उत्तर प्रदेश के नागरिकों के बारे में टिप्पणी होती थी, आज उस उत्तर प्रदेश जहां कोई आना नहीं चाहता था, आज देश और दुनिया का हर व्यक्ति उत्तर प्रदेश आने के लिए तैयार बैठा है।
मेरे ख्याल में अगर वो ज्योतिष नहीं है, मेरे ख्याल में वो पुरोहित नहीं है और वो जाके प्राण प्रतिष्ठा किया, ज्योतिष नहीं है, प्रेडिक्शन भी देने लगे, मेरे ख्याल में ये तो नहीं होने वाला है। लेकिन अंत में तो जनता ही तय करेंगे। अब मेरे ख्याल में जनता उनको इस किस्म के रिजल्ट नहीं देने वाले हैं।
उनका एक वक्तव्य है कि ये कहना कि आज भी हमें आप विपक्ष के और आप सबों का इंतजार है इस देश के निर्माण में, और आप अगर मेरी तरफ पत्थर चलाओगे तो उस पत्थर को आने वाली पीढ़ी और इस भारत के निर्माण के नींव में उपयोग करूंगा। देश के लोग तो तय कर ही चुके हैं कि अगली सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बनेगी, नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व में।
The India bloc is withering. The BJP-led NDA is growing. With just a couple of months to go for the Lok Sabha elections, many parties, including the Jain Chaudhry's Rashtriya Lok Dal, Telugu Desam Party and Raj Thakrae's Maharashtra Nav Nirman Sena could be joining NDA. Sources tell India Today that the BJP has offered the RLD 4 seats in Western Uttar Pradesh, a region dominated by the Jat community. The Samajwadi Party, however, is hopeful that the RLD will stay in India bloc. While the BJP has neither confirmed or denied reports of alliance with the RLD, their rivals are worried. In Maharashtra, MNS leaders are meeting Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis for possible seat sharing. The BJP is also expanding in the southern states. In a big boost, 16 former MLAs from the AIADMK joined the BJP on Wednesday. TDP President and former Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu is in Delhi to meet senior BJP leaders. He could make his way back to the NDA. The BJP is bringing in more allies with an eye on the target of 400 seats set by Prime Minister Modi for the NDA. Bureau Report, India Today.
I'm right here in UAE, Abu Dhabi, where this stunning BAPS Hindu Mandir is going to be opening up really soon, and the construction is near complete. It's been on in full swing, and I'm lucky enough to actually catch a glimpse of it. If you can get a close look of what this mandir really looks like, it's all carved on pink stone mixed with Italian marble, and each of those stones there have beautiful history actually carved in each stone. So history and culture from all across the globe that etched on these walls. And we believe that murtis from all over India are going to be placed inside this mandir. So this is fabulous. I mean, the kind of cooperation that the Temple Trust say that they got from the UAE government has been seamless. It's been absolutely smooth. And they've finally, a decade-long effort that they've actually put into making this temple a reality has finally come into fruition. So this is what it looks like. And as we see, interestingly, right on top are 7 spires, which symbolizes the 7 emirates of UAE. And this architecture, we believe, is a good, thorough mix of Indian architecture mixed with Middle Eastern architecture as well. So it's great symbolism and celebration of unity, diversity, harmony. Also a big symbol there of diplomatic ties that India and UAE currently holds. Well, it's a thorough joy for me to be right here reporting from UAE for India Today, from the BAPS Mandir run by the Swaminarayan Sanstha.
The North-South divide narrative has been peaking in the last few months.
Situation prevailing in Tamil Nadu.
And now adding fuel to this raging fire is the political face-off over funds. 3 southern states, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, are bringing their fight against the centre to Delhi, all with one demand to stop discrimination in distribution of funds.
Stepmother attitude towards the states which are not.
Let's begin with the Karnataka government's fight against the central government. Chief Minister Sidda Ramaiah will be leading a mega protest in Delhi on Wednesday, where he's appealed to all Karnataka MPs to join the dharna, saying this isn't a political fight, but one for Karnataka.
I request the BJP MPs also participate in the agitation, because it is not a struggle between the Congress and the BJP. Our agitation is not against BJP. It is against injustices caused to Karnataka state.
The BJP has lashed out at the claims of discrimination, calling the fund crunch in Karnataka a result of freebie politics. Meanwhile, in Tamil Nadu too, a political face-off is brewing over funds. Chief Minister Stalin has confirmed he will be part of Kerala's funds agitation against the centre. The issue also resonated in Parliament, with the DMK and BJP squaring off.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 22 and minimum 10 degrees.
Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 23 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 29 and minimum 18 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 32 and minimum 18 degrees. Chennai, maximum 28 and minimum 22 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 34 and minimum 20 degrees.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
आदरणीय सभापति जी, मैंने आदरणीय सभापति जी, मुझे पिछले वर्ष का वो प्रसंग बराबर याद है। उस सदन में हम बैठते थे और देश के प्रधानमंत्री की आवाज को गला घोंटने का भरपूर प्रयास किया गया। हम बड़े धैर्य के साथ, बड़ी नम्रता के साथ आपके एक एक शब्द को सुनते रहे और आज भी आप न सुनने की तैयारी के साथ आए हैं। आप न सुनने की तैयारी के साथ आए हैं, लेकिन मेरी आवाज को आप दबा नहीं सकते हैं। देश की जनता ने इस आवाज को ताकत दी हुई है। देश की जनता के आशीर्वाद से आवाज निकल रही है और इसलिए आपने पिछली बार, मैं भी इस बार पूरी तैयारी के साथ आया हूं। मैंने सोचा था कि उस वक्त कि शायद आप जैसे व्यक्ति सदन में आए हैं तो मर्यादाओं का पालन करेंगे, लेकिन 1.5-2 घंटे तक क्या जुल्म किया था आप लोगों ने मुझ पर, और उसके बाद भी मैंने एक भी शब्दों की मर्यादाएं तोड़ी नहीं।
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political black.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
How many seats will the BJP get if general elections are held today?
Who would you rate as India's best chief minister?
Do you support the idea of one nation, one poll?
Will the consecration of the Ram Temple help the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections?
After Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who do you think is best suited to be India's Prime Minister?
All this and more in the next edition of the India Today Mood of the Nation opinion poll, exclusively on India Today TV.
Co-presented by Aapka Joy, Bharat Ka Joy, Joy E-Bike. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. Co-powered by Green Lamb Laminates, Kuch Mera Kuch Tumhara.
Good evening, you're watching Democratic Newsroom. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Is bar 400 par was the war cry of the Prime Minister in Lok Sabha a few days back and today in Rajya Sabha where the NDA is concerned. 400 plus for the NDA is what the Prime Minister says that they will get this election 2024. Where it comes down to the BJP, he gave the figure of 370. Rhetoric or reality? Let's take it now. A little out of the newsroom, but to our boots on ground, the Democratic Newsroom.